Hi guys, welcome back to my read along channel. We are reading Candyfloss by Jacqueline Wilson. Today we're going to read chapter 10, which is on page 125, all the way to chapter 11, which is on page 139. This is Jacqueline Wilson's own work. I'm just reading it for entertainment and pleasure purposes. So without further ado, let's get going. Chapter 10. Dad was waiting for me when we got out of school. Rhiannon's mum was standing next to him, obviously giving him advice. He was nodding politely, but when he saw me running across the playground, he rolled his eyes, pulling a secret funny face at me. "Thank goodness," he said, giving me a big hug. "That woman's been bending my ear for the last 10 minutes. The stuff she was saying, blooming cheek. She even suggested I try internet dating to get myself a girlfriend." "Oh, Dad, you're not going to, are you?" I asked anxiously. "There's only one girl in my life, sweetheart. She's very little and she's got masses of curly hair and big blue eyes, and she goes under the name of Princess," said Dad, whirling me around. "Come on, let's get home. I've been shopping." "I thought we were short of money, Dad." "We are, desperately, but we might as well spend what little we've got." "Who's looking after the cafe?" "Billy the Chip is meant to be keeping an eye on things." Dad paused, though I doubt he'll be right off his feet. There wasn't a single customer in the cafe. Billy the Chip was glued to his radio, listening to the races at Newmarket. "Is birthday girl running again, Mr. Chip?" I asked. Don't talk to me about that silly filly. She went all flighty and finished second to last," said Billy the Chip. "Still, let's see if you can bring me luck on the last race, sweetheart. Here are the runners. What do you fancy?" I peered at the list of his newspaper and then stabbed my finger at a name. "Iced bun, that's the one. I had a lovely iced bun today, and with a cherry on the top." "Bet on iced bun, Mr. Chip. It's a complete outsider, but I suppose I could risk a fiver if you're feeling lucky." "Put a fiver on for me too," said Dad. "All right, I nip down to the betting shop right this minute." Billy the Chip was so old and skinny and frail he couldn't really nip. He crept in slow motion, having a rest and mopping his brow every few seconds. Dad shook his head. "Poor old Billy. I don't know how he keeps going. I worry about him still running that chip fan. There are so many jobs in town now, especially late at night. He needs someone there, any of them cut up rough. He's got a son, but he's in Australia." We looked at each other. "It's obviously the in-place floss," said Dad, sighing. "Who wants to be one of the in-crowds?" I said, taking his hand. "I'd sooner be us." Dad squeezed my hand back. "You mean all the world to me, little floss. Now listen here, lovey. I bought a brand new iron from Argos and 5 pairs of white socks from the market, and a shoe brush and some J-cloths too. So tomorrow we'll send you off to school super spick and span, I promise. And I've got a salad for your tea, and oranges and apples. You'll be absolutely vibrating with vitamins, the picture of health and beauty. I don't need that Rhiannon mum muscling in. I'm going to be a brilliant dad from now on." "You've always been a brilliant dad, silly," I said. "No, darling, I've been a rubbish dad in all sorts of ways." He took a deep breath. "I'm a bit of a pickle with the cafe, Floss." "I know, Dad. Don't worry. I'm sure business will pick up soon, and you've got me to help you now. I can be with the waitress at the weekend. I promise you I can keep all my tips. I promise you can keep all my tips." "Oh, Floss, you're such a sweet kid. If only it was that simple." "No, darling, I'm afraid I'm down and almost done for. I didn't spell it out before because I needed to sort out what I was going to do. Only I still haven't got a clue and time's running out." "Don't worry, Dad. Maybe Ice Bun will win its race and we'll make a fortune." "The odds won't have to be 10,000 to 1 to sort things out for me, pet," said Dad. I tried to work out in my head how much we'd win at those odds. I needed Susan to help me with the maths. It was a waste of effort anyway. Ice Bun came in last. Billy the Chip trailed back from betting shop looking defeated. "Well, that was a waste of time and money," he said. "I'm ever so sorry, Mr. Chip," I said, feeling responsible. "Let me get you another cup of tea." Billy the Chip smiled at me, patting me on the head with his shaky old fingers. "Little Miss Curly Mop, you're a dear girl. No wonder your dad's so fond of you. Here, I still owe you a birthday present." "No, you don't. Birthday girl came second to last. I'm rubbish at choosing horses, Mr. Chip. Take absolutely no notice of me in the future." Dad fixed me a special salad for my tea and then spent hours ironing all my clothes with the brand new iron. He wasn't very good at it. The collars kept rumpling up and he pressed odd sideways lines in the sleeves. "Maybe I could have a go, Dad," I suggested, but he wouldn't let me in case I burned myself. He sent me to bed early so I wouldn't oversleep in the morning. He sat beside me, one arm round me, while he read me a chapter of a story about a girl and a magic toad. The girl didn't have a mum, she just lived with her dad. Maybe we need a magic toad, said Dad, and a magic iron that does all the ironing by itself, and a magic money box that's stuffed full of £50 notes. Dad, what's going to happen about the cafe? Will we have to sell it? Dad swallowed. He closed his eyes, his lips puckered up. I thought for one terrible moment he was going to start crying. The cafe isn't really mine to sell now, Floss. I had to borrow money on it, lots of money, just to keep things going. And try as I might, I haven't been able to keep up with the payments. So it looks as if they might close us down. Will someone else come and run our cafe? I asked. I'm not sure, Pet. Maybe. But will they come and live upstairs in the flat with us? The thing is, Floss, the flat is all part of the cafe, and if I'm pushed out the cafe, I'll be pushed out of the flat too. I saw us both being shoved into the street by a giant bulldozer. Oh, Dad, I said, clutching him. Oh, Lordy, I shouldn't have told you, especially now, when you're just going to sleep. I am so stupid. I've kept quiet for months, mostly because I couldn't face up to it myself. I've just kept hoping that something will turn up, and that they'll give me another loan, anything. I just can't believe they'll make us homeless. But what will we do, Dad? I thought about the homeless people I'd seen on a trip to London. Will we live in a cardboard box? Oh, Floss, Dad sputtered. I didn't know whether he was laughing or crying. Maybe he didn't know either. Of course we won't be living in cardboard boxes. No, love, you'll be fine. I'll get in touch with your mum and pop you on the plane to Australia. I should have made you go in the first place. It was so bad of me, but it meant so much to me that you wanted to stay with your old dad. I kept desperately hoping that business would somehow pick up, but no such luck. I'm not going to Australia, Dad. I'm staying with you no matter what, even in a cardboard box. I put my arms tight around his neck. Anyway, I like cardboard box houses. Remember, I used to sit in one when I was little, with all my dolls and teddies squashed in beside me, playing mothers and fathers. You were such a sweet little kid, said Dad, kissing the top of my curls. Now you'd better settle down. Night-night, darling. You're not to worry, promise me. Of course I worried. I didn't sleep for ages and ages, and when I did, I dreamed that our cafe and flat had been turned into cardboard. It started to rain and all the walls sagged and the floor split, and I barged through the cardboard door, yelling for Dad. When I found him, he looked so old and frail, and when I hugged him, he bent in half and crumpled in my arms as if he were cardboard too. I woke up crying and ran to Dad, but he wasn't in his bedroom, even though it was now in the middle of the night. I peered under his duvet, I lifted the pillow, I even looked under his bed. Then I heard little creaking sounds coming from the kitchen. I found Dad ironing away my school blouses all round the room, hanging off doors and pegs and racks as if a flock of weird white birds were roosting in our kitchen. Dad? Hello, little sweetheart, said Dad, as if it was the most normal thing in the world to be up ironing at 3 a.m. What are you doing? You've already ironed all my school blouses. Yes, and I made a right muck-up of them, so I've dumped them all down again, and I'm doing them again and again. This is my third time, and they're still a bit sad and crumpled. They're fine, Dad, leave it. Come back to bed, please. I can't seem to sleep when I do, yet I'm knackered in the daytime. I'm keeping Australian time. Maybe I should go and live there too. I thought about it, my heart thumping. Well, if we have to leave the cafe, why can't we both go to Australia? Maybe Steve would lend you the money for the fare. You could pay him back once you started working, and I could still live with you, but I could see Mum too. Maybe we could all stay there. You're being so brave, Floss, about missing your mum, said Dad. There's no chance of me going to Australia though, Pet. I'd never take a penny off old Steve for starters, and I'd not be allowed into the country to work because I've no money and no skills. Yes, you have, Dad. You're great at running the cafe. Come off it, Pet. I doubt I'd even get a job as a washing up guy. I'd certainly not get a job in a laundry. Look, I've scorched your blouse. He held it up despairingly and showed me the brown mark. Never mind, Dad. Please, stop ironing. Maybe the mark will come out if I wash it again, said Dad. Then he saw my face. Sorry, Pet. Your old Dad's gone a bit nuts, that's all right. Right, I'll stop ironing. He switched the iron off and stood in the middle of the kitchen in his old stripy pyjamas. Shall I tuck you up in bed, Floss? I'm not sleepy now either. So what shall we do, said Dad. He shifted his weight from one bare foot to the other, considering. I know, he said suddenly. Let's go and have a swing. But it's the middle of the night, Dad, I said, wondering if he really had gone mad. There's no law that says you can't have a nighttime swing in your own garden, said Dad. Put your coat on, sweetheart, and stick your feet in your welly boots. Dad put a thick jersey over his pyjamas and pulled on his own boots. Then we went downstairs, through the sad, silent cafe and out into the backyard. I thought it would be dark and scary, but there was a bright full moon making the yard look silvery and magical. We threaded our way through the bits of bike and all the other junk. The rubbish bins had been emptied that day, so they hardly smelled at all, and the little cat circled them wistfully, meowing for food. Oh, Dad, look, isn't she sweet? I said. I bent down, a little clumsy in my boots. Here, Puss. She looked at me and considered, and then approached me cautiously. Come on then, I won't hurt you. I reached out of my hand, and she came right up to me. She sniffed my palm, hopefully for tidbits, but seemed happy enough when I stroked her instead. She's a very thin little cat. Can we feed her, Dad? I asked. Dad was peering at her. She's black, isn't she? Black cats are meant to be lucky, aren't they? Even skinny little stray ones. Okay, if she hangs around a while, we'll see if I can get a can of tuna. There, Puss, you're so clever, calling to a cafe. That's my Dad over there. He's going to fix you a perfectly lovely meal in a minute. Perfectly. Hey, Dad, perfectly. Do you get it? Oh, how funny, Floss, said Dad. He sat himself down on a swing, kicking at the ground with the heel of his boot. The cat rubbed against me, nuzzling in and purring when I stroked the side of her neck. Her bones felt so tiny and delicate underneath her soft fur. I wonder if you belong to anyone, little cat, I said. Oh, you haven't got a collar on, have you? You don't look as if you've been fed for days. Dad, is she really a stray cat? Can we keep her? We can't keep ourselves, Floss, said Dad. Well, we can all three strays, you, me, and the cat, I said. We can all call her Lucky. You never know, Dad. Maybe our luck is changing right this minute. Yes. Whoops. What was that? A big pink pig just flew past my head, flapping its wings. You wait and see, Dad, I said, gently lifting Lucky up in my arms. She nestled into me as if she'd known me since she was a kitten. We should be so lucky, 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 Dad sang, kicking off and swinging. Hey, this swing's lopsided. Oh, Floss, why didn't you say? It's fine, Dad, really. No, it's not, but I'll fix it for you tomorrow. Oh dear, did Rhiannon remark on it when she came round? Not really, I hedged. I'm sorry, I let you down with Rhiannon. I know she is your best friend. She is, but I've got another friend too now, Dad. Can my new friend Susan come round on Saturday? Is she very posh and pernickety like Rhiannon? Said Dad, swinging wildly and waving his boots. No, she's very clever, but she's quiet, not a bit fussy or bossy, I said. I like her already, said Dad. It was lovely having Susan as my secret friend at school. We smiled and nodded at each other whenever Rhiannon wasn't looking. Most days we managed to meet up in the girls' cloakroom for a minute or two. We fixed it that she'd come at 3 o'clock on Saturday and stay for tea. Chip butties, promise, said Susan. I promised. And that is the end of chapter 10, guys. So we're now on chapter 11, which is on page 139. So thank you again for listening to my read long channel and sticking with me. I know I make a few slip-ups here and there, but again, nobody's perfect. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and until the next time, guys, goodbye.